You know, when a private company breaks the law and steals from American soldiers who are literally in the field fighting overseas, those companies should be held accountable. The Justice Department held Navient accountable. The FDIC held Navient accountable. But the Department of Education's bank decided it was more important to protect Navient than to watch out for our military students. Let's not mince words. The Navient fiasco is outrageous, but it is not surprising. At a Senate hearing 2 years ago, I asked James Runcie, who runs the Department of Education's Student Loan Bank, how he could turn around and renew the contract of a company like Navient that had just copped to ripping off American soldiers. His answer, essentially, was that moving borrowers away from Navient would simply be too disruptive. Senator Harkin said at the time, that sounded an awful lot like too big to fail, and Senator Harkin was right. So long as that theory remains the operating principle of the Department of Education, the American people can forget about the law, because there will be no real limits on how much money big private companies and large fraudulent schools can steal from students and taxpayers. One of the first things that must be done is a total reform of student loan servicing to make sure that nothing like the Navient disaster ever happens again. And here are 5 simple principles that should guide that reform. First, put students and families first every time, every decision. The department exists to serve students, not student loan companies, and it's time they acted like it. Second, punish bad actors. Navient broke the law and cheated soldiers, but the department bent over backwards to protect them. Right now, Navient owes the federal government $22 million that it stole in another scam, and the department hasn't even bothered to collect it. The department needs to show that it is willing and able to punish companies that break the rules, and that includes kicking them out of the student loan program if necessary. Third, change the financial incentives for servicers. 2 years ago, the department renegotiated the servicer contracts and basically just ended up paying the companies more money for the same bad outcomes. No more. Our country pours millions of tax dollars into these companies, and it's time to leverage those dollars to make sure that the companies are working for students. Fourth, release more data. The Department of Education adamantly refuses to share basic data about the student loan program with anyone, even other folks within the Department of Education. That means that nobody can even see how this bank is being run. It is time for some sunshine. And fifth, take responsibility for aggressive oversight of student loan servicers. The department needs to act before this problem metastasizes. And when the department doesn't have the tools to act, then get out of the way and let the CFPB or other federal agencies do their job. 5 simple principles. Everyone in government who is serious about standing up for the tens of millions of student loan borrowers in this country should embrace them. Because we shouldn't be running the student loan program to create profits for private companies. We should run it for students.